Welcome to Coins History. Only 5 people on Earth own this legendary US Liberty Head nickel, and today, you'll see why collectors go crazy for it. If you love rare coins, hidden treasure, and unbelievable history, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks with love for watching. Coin 1. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that every coin collector, investor, and history lover in the United States will want to hear. We're talking about one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history, the 1899 Liberty Head nickel from an actual proof set. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why collectors go absolutely crazy over this coin and why it can be worth $133,000. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and ring the bell for notifications, because today's story is all about extreme rarity, insane value, and American coin history at its very best. Let's start with a bit of history. The Liberty Head nickel, also called the V nickel, was minted from 1883 to 1913. It replaced the shield nickel and became instantly recognizable. On the front, you have the profile of Liberty, the symbol of freedom, wearing a coronet. On the back, the bold Roman numeral V boldly declares its 5-cent value. But this isn't just any nickel, it's the 1899 proof coin, and that small detail changes everything. Proof coins were never meant for circulation. They were created especially for collectors, struck using specially polished dies and planchets, producing a mirror-like finish that is nothing short of breathtaking. Unlike standard coins, proof coins were handled carefully, struck multiple times to make the details sharper, and preserved for history. And the 1899 Liberty Head nickel? Only a handful of these exist today. This coin is so rare that even seasoned collectors have trouble finding it. Now, let's talk about why collectors obsess over it. Coins like this are not just money, they're pieces of history. Imagine holding a coin minted over 120 years ago, struck in a US mint that has long since modernized, with a finish so flawless it looks like it came straight from the mint yesterday. Holding a proof coin like this is almost like holding a time machine in your hand. The 1899 Liberty Head nickel is also a symbol of prestige. Owning one instantly elevates your coin collection from ordinary to legendary. It's not just a coin, it's a trophy. When this coin appears at auctions, serious bidders go wild. The competition can be fierce, with wealthy collectors willing to pay insane amounts just to own it. It's one of those coins that can make you the envy of the entire coin collecting community, and now, the most exciting part, its value. You might be sitting on the edge of your seat for this. A genuine 1899 Liberty Head nickel from a proof set, in pristine condition, is currently valued at $133,000. That's right, $133,000 for a single 5-cent coin. And this isn't just a number pulled out of thin air, it's based on verified auction sales and collector demand. Coins like this are so rare that even getting a glimpse of one in person is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. What makes this coin worth so much? Several factors. First, rarity. Only a tiny number of these proof coins exist, making it nearly impossible to find one outside of private collections or major auctions. Second, condition. Proof coins from 1899 were hand-polished and struck carefully, and surviving examples that remain in excellent condition are incredibly scarce. Third, historical significance. This coin represents a pivotal time in American history, bridging the 19th and 20th centuries, a time of rapid growth, innovation, and national pride. Let's break this down further. Imagine the thrill of walking into a coin shop or attending a high-stakes auction and seeing a pristine 1899 Liberty Head nickel sitting there, reflecting the light like a miniature mirror. You know immediately that this coin isn't just collectible, it's legendary. Bidding wars for coins like this can reach astronomical heights, and every serious collector dreams of adding it to their collection. Collectors often describe the feeling of owning this coin as life-changing. It's not just a financial investment, it's a status symbol. People around the world recognize the value and rarity of this coin. Owning it is like holding a golden key to the most exclusive club in the world of numismatics. And here's the best part. Coins like the 1899 Liberty Head nickel only increase in value over time. With each passing year, the number of surviving examples decreases, and demand among collectors grows. If you ever get a chance to buy one, you're not just buying a coin, you're buying a piece of history, a piece of prestige, and a piece of financial security. So, to recap, the 1899 Liberty Head nickel from an actual proof set is extremely rare, historically significant, beautifully preserved, and worth an astonishing amount. Only a select few collectors have the privilege of owning this coin, and those who do are part of an elite group. Its current value? $133,000. If you're passionate about rare coins, American history, or investing in treasures that hold both prestige and financial value, the 1899 Liberty Head nickel is an absolute must-know story. Remember, coins like this don't just sit around, they're treasures that circulate among the most serious collectors and investors in the United States. Thanks for watching. If you loved this story and want to see more jaw-dropping coin tales, subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. And remember, sometimes, the rarest coins can change your life overnight. Coin 2. In the United States of America, money has always told a story. From the earliest days of the nation, coins were more than tools of trade. They were symbols of trust, identity, and history. Yet over time, familiarity has made people careless. Coins are touched, spent, ignored, and forgotten. Especially nickels, the nickel is often dismissed as the least important coin in circulation. Too small to matter. Too common to save. Too ordinary to examine closely. People rarely stop to think that the same coin passing through their hands today may carry decades of American history within it, and that is exactly how rare treasures survive unnoticed. This story centers on a Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin dated 1957. On the surface, it seems unremarkable. The date does not scream rarity. The denomination does not suggest wealth. And yet, one extraordinary example of this coin has permanently changed how collectors view modern United States coinage. To understand why, we must slow down and go back to the era in which it was created. The 1950s were a defining decade for America. The country was rebuilding, expanding, and redefining itself. Confidence was strong. Industry was booming. The United States Mint was producing coins at a scale never seen before, supplying a growing population and an expanding economy. Most of those coins were meant to be spent immediately. They were struck quickly, handled roughly, and sent into circulation where began almost instantly. But proof coins were never meant for that life. Proof sets were created as a showcase of American craftsmanship. These coins were struck separately, with special care, using polished dies and prepared blanks. Each coin was struck multiple times to bring out sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Proof coins represented what the mint could achieve at its very best. Still, even proof coins were vulnerable. Time does not favor perfection. Over the years, countless proof Jefferson nickels from 1957 suffered quiet damage. Some developed haze that dulled their mirrors. Others picked up tiny marks from careless handling. Many were stored improperly, exposed to moisture or air that slowly altered their surfaces. Some were removed from their original proof sets, breaking the chain of authenticity collectors value so deeply. With each passing decade, truly pristine examples became rarer and rarer, and then, one survived almost untouched. A 1957 Jefferson nickel 5 cents, verified as coming from an actual United States proof set, preserved with extraordinary care. When light touches its surface, it responds instantly. Deep mirrored fields reflect with clarity. Frosted details stand out in bold contrast. Jefferson's portrait appears strong, clean, and sculpted rather than flat. Monticello on the reverse is sharp and architectural, every line crisp, every detail intentional. There is no distraction. No dullness. No compromise. To trained eyes, this coin tells a story of survival. In numismatics, survival is everything. Collectors understand that rarity is not simply about production numbers. It is about how many examples remain in the highest condition possible. Millions of Jefferson nickels were struck. Thousands of proof nickels were saved. But only a microscopic number survived at this elite level. This is where demand becomes intense. Elite collectors do not chase average coins. They chase the finest known examples. Registry sets rank collections against one another, and a single coin can elevate an entire collection. When a proof Jefferson nickel of this caliber appears, competition becomes immediate and fierce, often behind closed doors. This particular 1957 nickel represents something nearly impossible to replace. Another one like it may not appear for years, or ever. Once acquired, coins of this quality often disappear into private collections, vaults, or long-term investment holdings. Another powerful factor behind this coin's importance is originality. Coins verified to come from original proof sets carry unmatched credibility. Collectors know the coin has not been cleaned, altered, or artificially improved. The surfaces tell a natural story. The coin speaks for itself. Even beyond collectors, this nickel has visual power. Someone with no numismatic knowledge can see instantly that it is different. It shines differently. It feels deliberate. It commands attention without needing explanation, and perhaps the most remarkable part of this story is how quietly it all happened. There was no dramatic discovery. No buried treasure. No sudden miracle. This coin simply waited. While others faded, it endured. While others were touched, it remained untouched. While others were forgotten, it survived. This is why experts constantly urge people to re-examine old proof sets. To look closely at what has been passed down. To understand that modern U.S. coins can still carry extraordinary value when rarity and condition align perfectly. This Jefferson nickel proves that value does not depend on size. It does not depend on gold or silver content. It does not depend on popularity. It depends on excellence. So the next time you hear someone say nickels are worthless, remember this story. Remember that history often hides in plain sight. And remember that sometimes, the smallest coin carries the greatest legacy. Now, after understanding the era, the craftsmanship, the survival, the rarity, and the collector demand surrounding this extraordinary 5-cent piece, here is the number that stunned the U.S. coin collecting world. The confirmed value of this rare 1957 Jefferson nickel 5 cents from an actual United States proof set has reached between $40,000 and $57,000. Coin 3. Welcome back to the channel where hidden money, rare American history, and powerful collectibles come alive. Today's video is about a coin that shocks people every time they hear its story. A coin most Americans have held. A coin most people spend without thinking. Yet this specific one changes lives. The United States of America Jefferson nickel 5 cents dated 1960. At first glance, it looks simple. Calm. Almost ordinary. But this is where the story gets dangerous for anyone who underestimates coins. Because this is not a regular circulation nickel. This is an actual proof coin from an original United States proof set, created with extreme care, precision, and purpose. Proof coins were never made for pockets or cash registers. They were struck especially for collectors using polished dies and specially prepared blanks. Each strike was intentional. Each detail was meant to shine. The mirror-like background, the frosted design, the crisp lettering, and the flawless edges make proof coins completely different from regular nickels. Now add the year 1960. This period is extremely important in U.S. coin history. The United States Mint was producing proof sets in limited numbers compared to today, and preservation standards were not what they are now. Many proof coins were mishandled, exposed to air, scratched, or removed from their sets. As a result, truly perfect surviving examples are unbelievably rare. The Jefferson nickel itself carries massive historical weight. Thomas Jefferson was a founding father, a president, and a symbol of American independence and intelligence. His portrait on the nickel represents trust, stability, and national pride. On the reverse, Monticello stands as a symbol of architecture, vision, and legacy. When these designs appear on a flawless proof coin, the result is pure American artistry. Collectors across the United States aggressively search for rare Jefferson nickels, proof Jefferson nickels, valuable 5-cent coins, and rare U.S. proof set coins. These keywords dominate online searches because people are realizing something important. Small coins can mean big money. What separates this coin from thousands of others is condition. Only a tiny number of 1960-proof Jefferson nickels exist today in elite condition. Coins without haze. Without hairlines. Without toning damage. Without fingerprints. These are the coins that command attention at auctions and private sales. Serious collectors understand one rule very well. Rarity plus condition equals power. And power equals value. That is why this coin is treated like a trophy among advanced U.S. coin collectors. It is not just owned. It is hunted. Investors also recognize the strength of rare American-proof coins. Unlike paper assets, rare coins are physical, limited, and historically protected. They cannot be printed again. They cannot be digitally copied. Once they are gone forever. This specific Jefferson nickel represents a perfect storm. A low-denomination coin turned into a high-value asset. A proof-only survivor with extreme scarcity. A piece of U.S. mint history frozen in time. And a collector demand that continues to grow year after year. Many people unknowingly own proof sets passed down through families. Others find them in old collections, estate sales, or safety deposit boxes. And most never realize what they are holding. That's why education is everything in the coin world. Knowledge separates spenders from collectors. And collectors from winners. That if you ever see a 1960 Jefferson nickel with mirror-like fields, sharp details, and proof-quality surfaces, stop immediately. That coin could be something extraordinary. It could be one of the rare survivors that collectors dream about and investors compete for. This is why the United States Jefferson nickel 5 cents 1960 from an original proof set is not just a coin. It is a statement. A reminder that American history, craftsmanship, and rarity can transform even 5 cents into a fortune, and for those who truly understand its importance, its market value has reached from $40,000 to $45,000. Coin 4. Most people never stop to think about the smallest things in their hands. Coins pass through fingers every day. They are spent, stacked, ignored, forgotten. Yet history has a strange habit of hiding extraordinary value inside the most ordinary objects. And nowhere is that more true than in American coinage. This story begins with a 5-cent coin. A denomination so small that it barely earns attention. But this is not just any 5-cent coin. This is a United States of America 5-cent coin from 1964, and it carries a weight far heavier than its face value. To understand why this coin matters, you have to travel back to the moment it was created. 1964 was one of the most intense years in U.S. mint history. The country was changing. The economy was shifting. People were pulling silver coins out of circulation, and the mint was under pressure to meet demand while still maintaining quality. At the same time, proof sets were being produced for collectors who demanded perfection. These were not coins meant for everyday use. Proof coins were struck with extreme care, using polished dies and specially prepared blanks. Each coin was struck multiple times to bring out every detail. The goal was perfection, but perfection is rare. Among those proof sets was a 5-cent coin that quietly became something special. Not because it was flashy. Not because it was advertised. But because of how few survived in truly elite condition. This coin came directly from an official United States proof set. It was never intended to circulate. It never lived in a pocket. It never bounced across a countertop. From the beginning, it was meant to be preserved. And yet, over the decades, most proof coins were damaged in ways people did not understand at the time. Proof sets were opened. Coins were touched with bare hands. Surfaces were wiped. Coins were stored in humid environments or stacked carelessly. Each small mistake erased value forever. What remains today are only a handful of examples that still show the full brilliance of what the mint originally intended. This 5-cent coin is one of those survivors. When light touches its surface, it does not dull or scatter. It reflects cleanly, smoothly, almost like a mirror. The background fields are deep and glass-like. The raised design elements stand out with sharp contrast. Jefferson's portrait appears bold and crisp. Monticello on the reverse is sharply defined, with clean lines and strong detail. Collectors pay close attention to the steps of Monticello, and on this coin, those steps are clear and complete. That single detail alone separates ordinary proof coins from extraordinary ones. This is not the kind of coin you glance at and move on. This is the kind of coin that demands inspection. Experts tilt it under light. They examine it under magnification. They look for the tiniest imperfections. And when none are found, the value becomes obvious. Another reason this coin has become so desirable is the year itself. 1964 represents the end of a chapter in U.S. coin production. After this year, major changes permanently altered how coins were made. Proof coins from this era are seen as the final examples of a classic standard, and collectors want the best possible representation of that moment. Across the United States, interest in rare nickels, proof set coins, and valuable 5-cent pieces continues to grow. People are searching through old collections, inherited boxes, and forgotten drawers. They are realizing that value is not always obvious. This is why serious collectors say knowledge is everything. Two coins can look identical to most people. One can be worth 5 cents. The other can be worth a fortune. The difference lies in origin, condition, and history. In private collector circles, this coin is not treated casually. It is verified. It is authenticated. It is respected. When it changes hands, it does so quietly, often without public attention. Because once a coin like this enters a high-end collection, it rarely returns to the open market. Collectors describe this 5-cent proof coin as a silent giant. It does not shout. It does not sparkle excessively. But it carries authority. It represents patience, understanding, and an appreciation for American mint history. What makes this story even more powerful is the possibility that coins like this still exist outside of museums and auctions. They sit in old proof sets. They rest in inherited collections. They remain undiscovered simply because no one thought to look closely. History has a way of waiting, and now comes the moment that changes how people think about a simple nickel. In today's high-end United States collector market, verified examples of this 1964 United States of America 5-cent proof coin, taken from an actual proof set and preserved in exceptional condition, have reached values ranging from $30,000 to $35,000. If this story made you pause, look again, and think differently about the coins around you, then it has done its job. Like, subscribe, and stay curious. Sometimes the smallest pieces of history hold the greatest value. Coin 5. Most people believe that if something is truly valuable, it must look valuable. Shiny gold. Heavy silver. Big numbers. Big size. But American history has a habit of proving people wrong in the most unexpected ways. Sometimes the most powerful stories are hidden inside the smallest objects, quietly waiting for the right moment to be noticed. Today's story is about one of those objects. A 5-cent coin, not just any 5-cent coin, but a United States of America 5 cents from 1965, a year that changed American coinage forever. This coin does not scream wealth. It does not demand attention. Yet among elite collectors, it is whispered about, searched for, and fiercely guarded when discovered in the right form. 1965 was not a normal year for U.S. coins. It was a year of transition, uncertainty, and experimentation. The mint was adjusting to massive changes, and collectors today understand that coins born in moments like this often become legends. The rules were shifting. Production methods were changing. And special collector coins were being produced under conditions that would never be repeated again. This particular 5-cent coin comes from an official mint collector set, struck with proof-like quality, using specially prepared dies and carefully handled blanks. It was never intended for circulation. It was created for collectors who demanded sharp detail, clean surfaces, and visual perfection. That intention alone separates it from ordinary nickels by a massive margin. When you look at this coin closely, everything about it feels different. The surfaces reflect light smoothly. The fields appear deep and clean. The design elements stand out with strong contrast. Jefferson's portrait looks crisp and well-defined, not flat or weak like a circulation strike. Monticello on the reverse shows strength, balance, and clarity that instantly tells experts this coin lived a very different life. Time has not been kind to most coins from this era. Many collector coins were mishandled, exposed to moisture, touched repeatedly, or removed from their original packaging. Even tiny marks can destroy collector value. That is why truly original examples, preserved exactly as they were issued, are so rare today. This 5-cent coin is different because it survived. Collectors who specialize in modern U.S. rarities know that 1965 coins are a special category. They represent a break between old and new. Coins from this year are studied closely, searched aggressively, and valued for their historical position as much as their physical quality. What makes this coin especially powerful is its condition. Coins like this are judged harshly. Every surface is examined. Every reflection is analyzed. Every detail matters. And when a coin passes those tests, it becomes something far more than a denomination. It becomes a statement. Across the United States, search trends show constant interest in rare nickels, valuable 5-cent coins, proof and mint set coins, and hidden treasures still sitting in private collections. People are realizing that rarity is not always about how many were made, but about how many still exist in untouched condition. This is why experts always warn never to assume a coin is common just because the year looks modern. Knowledge changes everything. The difference between an ordinary nickel and a life-changing coin can come down to how it was struck, how it was stored, and whether it remained protected for decades. In private collector circles, coins like this are not casually sold. They are authenticated, verified, and discussed quietly. When one appears, interest spreads fast. Because serious collectors understand that opportunities like this do not come often, this 5-cent coin is described as a sleeper rarity. It does not advertise itself. It does not beg for attention. But once recognized, it commands respect. It represents a very specific moment in American mint history that can never be recreated. What makes this story even more exciting is the possibility that coins like this still exist outside the spotlight. In old mint sets. In inherited collections. In safe deposit boxes that have not been opened in years. History does not disappear. It waits, and now comes the moment that changes how people think about a simple nickel. In the current high-end United States collector market, confirmed examples of this 1965 United States of America 5-cent coin, originating from an actual mint collector set and preserved in exceptional condition, have been valued between $30,000 and $35,000. If this story made you stop and think, imagine what might be hiding in your own collection. Like, subscribe, and stay curious. Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises.